What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my small engine repair channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to change the clutch cable on this Toro 721R single stage snow thrower. It's a pretty simple job once you figure out how to do it. So let's dive in and see how it's done. So there may be another way to do this. Typically when I'm doing this, I'm doing a tune-up or other things. So I'm going to be getting into the engine, doing some other things. So I like to take off the cover. It's the easiest access to get into it. So this is just how I do it. So we'll start by taking off the chute. There are 3 screws. There's a screw on the inside and a nut on the outside here with a little washer. So you'll want to take those off. There's one here, and one in the back. You'll take those off. I believe it's a... I don't think it's a 13 millimeter, but 13 millimeter is what I've got right here, and it's working. So there's a little black washer on the front of these right behind the nut. Make sure not to lose that. Pull that off as well. Make sure to save those. So once you've got the 3 there, pull off the chute and the handle. And then you'll have 3 screws here that you need to pull out. Sorry, my lift's bouncing up and down. Might be giving you a little bit of motion sickness. There's several different clutch cable setups for these snow throwers. So this is just one in particular. There's several videos out there for the different styles. I actually didn't see one for this particular style. But just make sure that when you're ordering parts and whatnot that you're getting parts for your particular snowblower. Toros are really good about putting their model numbers and serial numbers on their machines. I'll show you where this one's at in a minute. So next you'll want to take out, there's a screw here, and there's 2 screws back up in here. Once those are all off, take the gas cap off, and voila. So the clutch cable actually engages the auger belt. So you can see this one is something happened to it where it's either come off or it's loose or broke. There are several adjustments you can make on these particular ones where you can adjust the tightness if they get stretched, or just over time you need to, adjust the tightness of it. So that's nice about these ones. That is not the case with this. Obviously, if you put this up at the tightest one, it still would not be tight enough. So there's another issue going on, which is why I wanted to get in here all the way. But like I mentioned before, let me show you that model number. So on the Toros, on these single stage, they put them, let me see if I can get in there. They put them right here on the bottom right side. There's that little sticker. I don't know if the lighting's good, but there'll be a little sticker there and it'll have the model and the serial number. Type those numbers into, Google them or do something there, and you'll be able to pull up a parts diagram. And from there you can figure out which part you need or parts. You can look up, see how things go back together, and make sure you're just getting the right equipment. So from there, there are 3 10mm bolts here. Got to pull off. And that cable did come off on this one, but the tip of it broke. So I'll show you that when we pull it off here in a minute. But this particular one has a cable guide, which is screwed in right here. So we need to pull that off. It's just a little Phillips screw that's holding that on. Once you get that out, there is your cable and guide. So this particular one, you can see that bent. And that should be perpendicular or parallel with this piece. So that broke off, and that's why it was loose. So we'll replace that out and put it back together, and it should be all tight again. So this is kind of a tricky part. The new cable, this particular cable is a 117-9145. This cable does not come with the guide. You need to pull the cable out of the guide because this cable does not come with the guide. That's a little bit of a tricky part. You just need to feed it out of the guide by wiggling it out. It's a pretty small hole, so you just need to get it at the right angle. First part's the easiest because you don't have the tension on the cable, but there you go. And same thing going back in. Just like I showed you up here, it's pretty simple. Just take it out of that adjustment hook, and we might have to adjust it when we put it all back together to see where it's at. But that's it. Now you just reverse the process. And then there's a little hook in here, right where you took it off, that you need to tie it back into. I don't need both my hands for this, but that's that clip that you took it out of. Make sure to hook that back in right where you pulled it out. And then put your little guide back in the spot. Little piece feeds in right through there, and then your screw goes in there. Hold that into place. And we're golden. So now just putting everything back together. Making sure these holes line up. Take the gas cap off. Put your cover back on. That one was kind of boogered up from the beginning. They brought it in, it was only halfway in. And then back to the chute. Whoops. So you put this on, and there's 4 holes. You can see there's a hole that you didn't use. So you line that up with the hole you didn't use. There's an arrow on here. You can line it up. The 2 arrows go together. But you would have needed to do that before you disassembled it. But you can find the way by finding the 2 holes that you didn't use or that haven't been screwed. Put the chute back on, put the handle, make sure the handle is facing up. Start putting that back together. Make sure the head of the screw is on the inside of the chute so it doesn't catch a bunch of snow and cause ice balls and problems. Make sure to put that black washer on the outside and a nut. I like to go in the middle for that exact reason, so the thing doesn't fall over on me. Now we tighten her down. And that is how you change the clutch cable on a Toro 721R snow thrower single stage for this particular model, with that particular blade. Excuse me, I just went blank. With that particular cable guard. Excuse me, forgot. With that particular cable guard. So if you've got that cable guard, this particular model has that cable guard with that clutch cable, a 117-9145. This is your video. That's how to do it. Simple job. Just little tricks here and there to get that out of that cable guard, and how to put this thing back together. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe. You know, it really helps me out, get this thing going. So let me know if you have any tips on how you do it, if you've got any better ways, or any tips, tricks for all the other members. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great day. See ya.